Right, hello. Welcome back to the National channel. We're back with another preview. Liverpool versus Newcastle on Monday Night Football is this week's game of choice. Every other game will be done before we start, so it'll be a good inkling to see who around us in the table is going to be up there and ready to fight for Liverpool this season. But this game alone, there's going to be a lot of talking points already, and the biggest one obviously is the whole Alexander Isak situation. Um, in my honest opinion, I don't see Liverpool. Oh, the date in the top right corner is wrong, so just ignore that. But yeah, in my honest opinion, I don't really, I don't know if Isak's going to be a Liverpool player anymore. I think for majority of the window, I did firmly believe that we were going to be the team that lands Isak, and I think for majority of this transfer window alone, I thought Isak would be a Liverpool player by the end of it. We did have one bid that was officially sent, and it did get turned down. When we made that bid, I still stand firmly behind it. I think the price on him is a little bit too much. He is Premier League proven, and he is known for his clinical finishing, which is one of the things that Liverpool have been lacking a bit in the past few seasons, maybe. So yeah, maybe that is someone we need to sign, but I don't really agree with the fee that Newcastle were really asking for. I think the fee that we did offer was a little bit on the high side anyways, but it got turned down and they're wanting more. The whole situation in general is kind of crappy for Isak because he wanted the move. Like I said, at the time of me doing this video, I don't know if he's going to be a Liverpool player at the end of it. And if I'm really being honest, I think there's better alternatives for maybe similar pricing or maybe lower than what we're willing to pay for Isak. So it's going to be a little bit of a interesting end to the transfer window because there is a lot of deals still to be made. I think Liverpool is still in the market for a couple of players, and I think we might be in the market for a defender or two. I know Mark Gahey is the name that everyone seems to be screaming out for, and Crystal Palace seem to be talking about him moving on as if that is going to be, that's going to be a transfer to look out for. Because I believe in his final year of his contract, so they might want to be making some money out of him soon. This season is probably the only time they're going to get it. Um, I wouldn't mind Mark because, like I said, we are lacking a bit in the centre back department. Virgil Konate did not look as good as they have in previous games. In the last one against Bournemouth, Konate in particular, I think Van Dijk was as good as he was going to get in that game. I don't think he was great, but as good as he was going to get in that game alone. So there's that. But yeah, we've got defensive problems going into Newcastle game. Frimpong is now out until the international break. After the international break, it's kind of fitting that Conor Bradley has come back into training, and that lineup on the left that you see is what I'm predicting should be the lineup against Newcastle. I want to see Bradley start. I don't actually think Bradley will play. I think we are more likely to be using a Joe Gomez or an Endo. I don't really want Endo, but I wouldn't mind a Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez is comfortable of doing right back. But I would much prefer a Conor Bradley, even if he's not 100% fit. If he can give about 60-odd minutes, then I would much rather prefer that. Joe Gomez isn't a bad option, to be fair, but I would obviously want an out-and-out right back in Conor Bradley. I would love to see Joe Gomez play more this season as well. And if Konate's situation with this whole contract stuff doesn't improve, then I don't really want to be seeing him in the first team picture. I think we need to learn from the whole Trent situation, and if Konate wants to run down his contract, then we don't really give him the satisfaction of playing in front of an Anfield crowd or playing in a Liverpool shirt, because everyone that plays on that pitch wearing that red jersey or wearing whatever jersey we're wearing needs to want to wear that jersey with pride. If you're still worried about your future and wanting to know where you're going to be playing, I don't need that crap on the pitch. I want people that are going to play for Liverpool, play through and through, and give everything on the pitch. And I say this to a lot of people. When Liverpool lose, I can tolerate them losing as long as they've given everything on the pitch and I can see that everything has been left on the pitch. And the other team was just better on the day. I can tolerate that. Losing is a part of football, and it's just one thing that you're going to have to learn to understand. And it's not going to be the best. You are going to feel wounded. You are going to feel like a little bit upset, a little bit distracted, a little bit annoyed. maybe referee decisions went against us. Maybe the other team just got a bit lucky and they just stole a win. But as long as your team shows that they were giving everything on the pitch, then you can move on and be happy with what your team's done. If your team plays shit and your team just doesn't do enough on the pitch and you lose, then you're going to be pissed off and you're going to start pinpointing players and whatnot. And the difference there is you can pinpoint players that did have a bad game. You don't have to go full on abusive, but you can mention this player did this player did that, and it wasn't the best of games. So yeah, in the defensive department, I think Mark Gahey needs to be one player that Liverpool do sign, because Joe Gomez is the only centre back real cover we have. I haven't really seen enough of Giovanni Leone, so I don't really know if he's, but everyone seems to think that he's very much a player that's capable of breaking into that first team lineup straight away. And we're not sending him out on loan. Arnie Slot literally did come out and say that he's not going out on loan. He's going to be in the first team picture. So I'm assuming he's going to be near enough there as well. I don't think we'll be seeing him anytime soon. I think the first time we'll probably see a bit of Giovanni Leone will be when we are in action in the Carabao Cup. That's like it's still a couple of weeks away, but I think that'll be the first sighting of him that we actually do see. But like I said, left back Kirkes had a very, 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 very shit showing last week against Bournemouth, his former employers, and I'm hoping that this week he comes out ready to fight and shows something different. Midfield wasn't bad. I think we do have Gravenberch available now that he's done his suspension. So I think the midfield might alter a little bit, maybe a Szoboszlai drop, or maybe I'd imagine it being Szoboszlai that makes way for Gravenberch if it is to be the case. I imagine White still keeps his spot, and McAllister is a mainstay in our midfield anyways, but Gravenberch is also a mainstay. So I think the other position, I think Gravenberch and McAllister pretty much have cemented their spots in midfield. I think the other spot will be between West and Szoboszlai. And then maybe a little bit of rotation here and there when Maka and Ryan Gravenberch are a bit injured or tired or whatnot. Up top, I think we are lacking a little bit as well, so maybe a little bit of cover here and there over there. Gakpo, Ekitike, and Salah, I don't think that will change. I think that will be our front three, but we don't really have as much, cover up top as we did once upon a time. Obviously now we saw Darwin, we saw Luis Diaz, we've got like Chiesa, we've got like Trey Naoni, Rio Bengomoa, like people that are ready to break into the team. But it comes to those moments where you look at the team, you're losing 1-0 and it's coming to the 80th minute. You're looking at your bench, like, who can go grab me a goal? And Liverpool's bench, like, it did come through last week where we did manage to get 2 late goals to win against Bournemouth. But it's like, can you really depend on those types of players in a game? Like, no disrespect to Bournemouth, but Newcastle are a different level. They're a step up. And it's a question of like the last time we stole a win against Newcastle was late and Darwin Núñez got 2 goals. But that's the caliber of player that you're looking for when you need those goals late on, and can you get them? And Darwin stepped up that day. Yes, Chiesa did step up last week, but again, like, no disrespect, it was Bournemouth, it's not Newcastle. It's going to be a different atmosphere. I'm expecting a hostile atmosphere with the whole Isak situation. I'm expecting yellow cards galore. I'm expecting this game to be intense. And it's going to be Monday Night Football, so it'll be live on TV, so everyone will be watching this game with intent. I'd be amazed if I seen Isak in the stadium, because the whole situation is making him look like it's made him look like a right tool, because he's come out and said he wants to move. He said our promises have been broken, blah, blah, blah. And as it stands currently, he looks like he's going to be a Newcastle player come the end of the window, unless Saudi come in, because I don't personally see Liverpool coming in. If we do, happy days. I'm not going to complain too much. I don't agree with the price tag. I agree with the player that we're signing. I just don't agree with the price tag. So if we do go back in for fair play, but I don't know at the moment. At the moment, I'm really not seeing much links, or not seeing much transfer rumors to do with Liverpool. I think the defense needs to be a bit strengthened. In Mark Gahey, he is that guy that seems to be available that we should be going for. We have made a lot of sales. It looks like we might still be making 1 or 2 more sales, so it's going to be interesting to see how that one plans out. But we've made enough money. I think we need to sort of hold back on selling at the moment and seeing if we can bring in people, because if we continue to sell and we don't bring in, then we're going to be very, very short in numbers. Because you got to think we've got Carabao Cup coming up, FA Cup will start in January, Champions League will start in a month or two. So it's not, it's the games are going to come thick and fast. Then obviously international breaks will happen, and majority of our team are all internationals anyway, so they go away, and there's always a chance for international injuries in these pointless games that they play in the first half of the season. So it's going to be an interesting one. I am predicting Liverpool 2-1 victory. I think we still do have enough going forward. I think the defense is going to be tested more so on Monday than they were against Bournemouth. But I think Liverpool's defense do tend to come up strong against the bigger teams. And they do seem to do the job when they know their opponents are going to be up for it and ready to fight. But like I said, I'm expecting Kirkes to have a better showing, Whites to have a better showing. Ekitike seems to be up and running and knows where the goal is. So it'll be an interesting game. I am calling 2-1. It won't be the easiest of games. There's going to be so much emotion riding on this game because of the whole Isak situation. But Newcastle and Liverpool always tends to be top quality bangers anyways. So I'm expecting a very good game of football. I'll be live reacting to it over on the Purple, and my goal reactions do always go over on TikTok. So if you haven't already gone to check that out, then please do. It's been your boy, Mr. With me. I'll be back Monday after the game to talk about how the game's gone and what my thoughts on that game actually were. I'll catch you all on the next one. Have a good weekend. Hopefully some results. Hopefully the football's good because I'll be watching the majority of the games anyways. I'll catch you in the next one. Pieces, my guys.